Hey, good morning. Hey, y'all. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, perfect. Let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afrozen. And today I read for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Ooh, hold on. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Yes, you get some flowers. You get some flowers and you get some flowers. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell to book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is in the description box below. Okay. Um, so channel, oh, before I get into the read, don't forget to grab your copy of this book here. It is called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. This book is readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. This book is to help guide you out of narcissistic trauma or abuse that you may have endured or experienced here. It's a really great book surrounding, it's a self-paced healing book surrounding narcissism that will help you to guide your way through out of the darker shadows of self and into more so a light of bliss of things. Okay, so yet again, make sure you grab your copy here. It is called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It's readily available on Amazon. And again, thank you for your immense support. Okay, channel message here is, this is from a psychological standpoint, then I bring it around full circle. Okay. Channel message here is, they feel misunderstood by you. Okay, this is more so a ploy to kind of stay away from seeing the bigger picture when you're dealing with a narcissistic person in nature here. When you're dealing with a person at a caliber or with caliber as such, you have to understand that when they use words or terms as such as misunderstood, or they're telling other people that you don't understand them, it's because you're able to see the bigger picture as to who they are, and they don't want you to know who they are here. So misunderstanding is basically a projection here, because they can't comprehend your depth, depth. Okay, because they refuse to confront their own. So instead of them trying to accept a responsibility for what they have done or what they have said about you here, they're going to flip the script and try to project it onto you here, so that way they can stay in hiding and don't hold themselves accountable for what they have done or said towards you here. It's also, they feel misunderstood by you, but it's more so, it's not about truly being unseen. Okay, it's just more so a ploy or a tactic that they use here. Is more so about losing control of how they want to be perceived. They don't want to be perceived as anything else but what they want to be perceived as, which is a manipulator, a liar, in denial. Those are the truth in regards to who they are deep within here. But they don't want, again, they don't want you to see that here, because if you see it, you're not going to deal with it anymore. So they'll say some things, or some examples of them feeling misunderstood by you is that when they realize that their manipulation no longer works, or it just doesn't work in general, you tend to see through their charm or pity tactics, and that threatens their constructed image. Okay, everything is about image when it comes to a narcissistic individual here, and they're willing to do anything possible to ensure that that constructed image stays afloat. Okay, the next one is, you mirror the truth. Okay, you are the truth of things, and you tell people like it is. You're very direct, and you could be passionate in regards to how you deliver your messages here. And most people that are not able to handle such directness, because if you're truthful, you're going to be direct. You're not going to be around the bush. And a lot of people may mistaken you for being very off-putting, or may categorize you as being disloyal here because you're able to see past their facade. So your clarity disrupts their narrative. So they label you as misunderstanding. They label you as you misunderstanding them to avoid accountability. Okay. Someone's name is Maria. The next one is you stop feeding their ego. Okay. If you don't feed their ego, they won't be able to grow. Good morning. Um, so the moment you detach or speak from awareness, because now you're fully aware as to what they're doing here, they're going to interpret that as a form of rejection or judgment, not discernment. So yes, you are able to successfully in regards to what they have been doing towards you here. But the moment that you touch a nerve, or you touch a button, or you trigger the, we'll say, the hidden parts that they wanted to kind of keep hidden from you here, they're going to label it as if you, as if they feel misunderstood by you here. Okay. The next one is they cannot define you. All right. And the reason why most narcissistic individuals can't define you here is because you literally operate in truth. Yes, we all may have went through some experiences where we still may have trauma here. But if you have done enough shadow work here surrounding the, we'll say, the trauma, but you're able to feel very comfortable and speak freely, truthfully in regards to the trauma that you've experienced or went through here, then it's not going to affect you. Remember, narcissistic individuals love to hide in the dark, and they'll try to pull out your darkness or your triggers here to make you feel like you're one of them, and you're not, nothing like them here. Okay. So since they can't define you, narcissistic individuals need to feel superior. Okay. When you hold boundaries or express independence, it confuses them. They see you as difficult or cold or not self-aware. And it's the total opposite here. Okay. So those are the couple of examples surrounding a narcissistic individual who may feel like you misunderstand them. And all in all, the reason why, again, they feel this way here is because you see past their BS. And people who don't want you to see past their BS, they're going to be very upset or irate with you. Oh, well, my whole thing is, if you can't handle the truth, stay out the truth's way. I mean, it's truly that simple. We all have choices and decisions that we can make in regards to what we want to play out in our life day to day. And some people decide to live in lies, and that is okay. That's completely fine. But just because they're willing to stay in lies doesn't mean that you have to accept the lies as such. You don't have to be around a person that lie. Like, you have your own choices and intentions that you can create for yourself as well too. So they can blame no one but themselves, or the only one that they can blame is themselves here. Okay. So it becomes a big message of concern here because they no longer can imprison you. Yeah. They don't know what to do with themselves because they're no longer tethered to you. They're no longer anchored to you. They're no longer anchored to the illusions that they try to push into your face. So when you wipe the illusion from your face, or wipe it from your eyes, and you're no longer illusion, you're more disillusion here. You're like, wait, hold on, wait. So that was the truth. Oh, your discernment starts to get stronger. It starts to pick up things more. Your intuition starts to pick up things more here. And they look at you as a form of an enemy, or you're trying to harm them, and you're not. When it comes to people that has unhealed traumas or truth surrounding the truth here, let me phrase that. When people are walking around with unhealed traumas because of the lies that they want to push off or emulate as truth here, when you come along someone's path, or when they come along your path here, there is we'll say there's a purpose as to why you guys connected here. One person is telling the truth, another person is telling a lie. That is the mirror. It's an opposite. Opposites attract. Specifically, especially when it comes to trauma bonds in many different ways or many different aspects in this nature here. So you've done enough shadow work, or you did all your shadow work surrounding the truth as to who you are authentically, and now you are connecting with someone that may not have done as much as if you have or have done here. Okay, so when things start to go awry, the reason why things start to go awry is because your truth is so strong, it can pierce through the lies that they're trying to hold up as truth, right? So the moment that you're able to pierce through their lies here, now they want to be combative with you. Now they want to fight with you. Now they want to be argumentative with you. Now they want to say you ain't this and you ain't that and you'll never be. Does that sound familiar? People are going to deflect. People that have unhealed traumas, and not everyone, okay? I'm specifically speaking about narcissistic individuals, okay? But the individuals that have unhealed trauma surrounding narcissism here, they're going to do everything possible to reflect or to deflect. So that way you can't get to the bottom of things. You're not able to pierce through what they're trying to hide from you here, okay? Which then makes them the false person because of the truth that you speak. You see something in them that they have not either quite seen within themselves, or they don't want to see within themselves. And normally people who don't want to see what's in themselves, but know that something is not right with them, again, they're going to deflect. But some people deflect very harshly to the point where they may actually become violent towards you here, whether it's with words, mental manipulation, it could be a physical altercation, it could be a spiritual altercation, whatever they see fit to make you feel like you weren't seeing it in the way that you're actually seeing it, if that makes sense. So their manipulation doesn't work. So an example of that would be when you realize that they have been trying to manipulate you, and you just kind of like broke that all down here. Now they're going to try to up the ante here because they got to get their so-called lick back because the manipulation no longer works. Hey, Bemba. So they're going to try to drag you through the mud here because all of their little tools and little resources and their little artillery here is no longer working. It has kind of fell on deaf ears, and they have to prove a point to you, specifically to you and other people, that what you said was not true. And at the end of it all, they only end up hurting themselves because yet again, they deplete themselves out of their own energy. They waste their own time, their effort, and space in trying to come up against you. So it's just a waste of space or a lost cause here, okay? Remember, collective, you mirror the truth, not illusions. You don't do well with illusions, which is why you are coming up as the truth. Because if you did well with illusions, you would have accepted it as it was, and you'd be like, you know what? Okay, maybe no, something within you, something within your innate self, the spirit of who you are, the truth as to who you are here is nudging you or pushing you or poking you to dive deeper surrounding the person or the situation or the connection that you may have been at the time, or if you're currently in the connection, take it how it resonates. There's something within you that is kind of pushing you to probe more. That's the truth. The truth requires you to probe. The truth requires you to discover. The truth requires you to research. How else are you going to receive the truth, if that makes sense? On the opposite side of that, they don't want you to probe. They don't want you to research. They don't want you to go beyond the surface level. That's for a specific reason. It's because you mirror truth, not illusions. This is why, again, I advocate for you guys to make sure moving forward that when you're getting to know someone, get to know them on a soulful, spiritual level, not a vanity level. To hell with this. Yeah, you got pretty women and handsome men. I get that. But we get past this. What's on the soul? What's imprinted in the soul or on the soul? What's in the shadows? Then you're going to be able to see if you can connect with that person or not be able to connect with that person here. So because your clarity disrupts their narrative is a false one. It's not real. It's an illusion. They're giving off something as if it is. It's not, which is why once you pass the illusion and you break the illusion, all hell breaks loose for them, not for you. But because you made them, and I say quote unquote, you made them feel this way with your truth here, they feel like that you are 100% solely responsible for getting revenge on. They got to do something harmful to you. They got to get payback on you. They got to this. And if you're able to pick up what I'm putting down, it doesn't make sense. They're deflecting. So since your clarity disrupts the narrative, they label you as misunderstanding. They label you as you misunderstanding them to avoid accountability. Oh, the collective don't understand me. Oh, the collective is this, the collective is that. Does that make sense? They may even revert back to a childlike state. Maybe a child is doing this towards you. Take it how it resonates. Okay? If a child is not doing this towards you, you may have experienced this when you were a child. And every time that you spoke up in regards to the truth here, you came off as if something is not right with you. Something is off with you. You need to get help. You need to be seen by a psychiatrist and all these things. And no one can stop you from speaking truth. They bury the truth because they can't handle the truth that you speak. So this is why some of you guys were abused, manipulated, tossed to the side. For some of y'all were tortured because of the truth that you spoke. And that parts of the truth that you speak, or all parts of the truth that you speak, that's within you innately. Some of you guys experienced abuse to the point where physical things took place in your life here because it could not handle the bandwidth of the truth that you spoke. Going back to what I stated yesterday, this brings forth some form of shame or guilt because now you're feeling sorry if you wanted to speak up to, towards something or for whatever, however here. And in the back of your mind or on your spirit here, you keep getting like a indecisiveness, or you're feeling indecisive to where it is if you should actually speak up or you should stay quiet. This is why some of you guys may have felt like you couldn't speak your piece, or you couldn't speak up in regards to what was happening here because it was deliberately and intentionally done to you, so that way they can continuously project fear, shame, guilt, and grief onto you. And that's not yours to carry, is what I'm saying. Yes, you may have experienced guilt and shame surrounding speaking, which is crazy because you should be able to speak whatever you need to speak if it's the truth here. That makes sense. But most people cannot handle your truth, which goes back to why they feel that it is imperative to manipulate you. No, you cannot manipulate truth. And that could be spun in many different ways. If you catch what I'm putting down. You cannot manipulate truth. You are the actual truth. You are the walking truth. You see truth as what it is, right? And they're trying to manipulate you as that truth. No, you speaking too much truth. Shut up. Why you need to stop. Stop talking. Yeah, da, da, da. Because they know exactly the type of power that you carry within yourself, which is the truth. Does that make sense? So once again, once you stop feeding their ego, or the moment that you detach or speak from awareness, they interpret it as a form of rejection or judgment. Shut up. Stop talking. You know too much. Now they're judging you based on you just merely speaking the truth. Now they're trying to bury your truth by beating you down with guilt and with shame. And if you put those two together, guilt and shame equals grief. Because you're trying to figure out, why can't I say what I need to say? Why is it every time I try to speak up, somebody always trying to shut me down? Why is it every time I'm trying to speak, people are trying to challenge what I'm saying? Is because they don't want to hear the truth of what you're saying. That's the truth. So despair, you put people in despair, you do with your truth, but that's not your fault because yet again, they keep trying to come around you. You don't come around those individuals, they're coming towards you. Again, they're trying to manipulate you as the truth. You cannot manipulate. You can't wash truth. You cannot manipulate truth. Why? Because the truth is truly what it is. It's authentic. It's in its purest form. It's in its rarest form. You cannot manipulate that, if that makes sense. So I'm speaking to you as such, as that wise one, as that intelligent one, as the great one, however you see yourself. They cannot manipulate your truth, boo. Which is why, again, they're in despair. Oh man. What we're gonna do with the collective, you can't do diddly squat, karmic. Move on with your life. Go along, little fella, little dog, go along. Move along. But no, what keeps them coming back to you is because you truly and specifically, authentically know the truth of them. That's why they can't stop bothering you. That's why they can't stop watching you. That's why they keep trying to knock you off your square, because your truth, baby, listen to me, boo. Your truth brings forth clarity. So much clarity that their illusion that they live under, it will be destroyed. And they don't want you to destroy their lives. See, expectation was in reverse. So specifically for the ones that went through some form of, we'll say, verbal abuse, emotional and mental abuse surrounding family dynamics when you were younger here, right? The expectation surrounding the ones that inflicted some form of trauma, emotional trauma, physical trauma, mental trauma, etc., here, is that, well, we need to bring them down or break them down so much that as to when they become an adult, a teenager, an adult here, they're not going to be able to express themselves freely. That's why when you may see some kids, when they're able to express themselves so freely, you may hear other adults, hear me out, we're going to talk about it. You may hear other adults saying, oh, wow, that child think that they grown, or that they raised that child too much. No, there's a healthy dynamic. The child is not disrespectful. The child's not saying anything rude. When you talk to a child or a little toddler, they're going to give you the truth, the raw truth. Unless something happens to where that changes, again, trauma of some kind, from that child, to as to when they get older, they're not going to be the same or more expressive how they were when they were younger. I mean, you may fall in that category. You could have been very expressive when you were a young child or a teenager, however it resonates in your story here. And people saw that as, the Antichrist. Hey, I'm going here. Okay. That's not of this. That's not of that. You speak too much this. You do too much of that. You need to be quiet. You need a child's place. Well, what exactly do they mean when they say you need to stay in the child's place? They're the one that's taking you out of the child's place by putting you in a more of a regressed state. So that way, when you become an adult here, you still have that childlike spirit, or you're in that childlike state to the point where now you can't fully express yourself how you should or need to be. That's why I keep saying the things that people inflict onto others, specifically trauma, is intentional. Sometimes it could be unintentional, but I'm speaking more from the aspect of it being very intentional. They intended for you to hush. They intended for you to be quiet. They intended for you to hush your mouth. It was an intention. And if you didn't stop talking, then you get, physically, or you get mentally, somebody eating bean sprouts, like Chinese food, the rice. I just see lots of bean sprouts. So that was sidebar, but that happens. I get messages like that from time to time. But what they weren't expecting from you as you got older and grew, they weren't expecting you to reclaim your voice. That's what they weren't expecting from you. They were expecting you to stay quiet or to stay mute and just continue to go through life in this way, always questioning of who you are. And also to add shit, elephant watery shit on the cake here. They wanted you to need them or need them so that way they can manipulate and control what you speak. Does that make sense? So this is why you may have issues at the time, or maybe you do now, however it resonates. This is why you may have had a lot of issues surrounding your connections, whatever connection it may be, friendships, lovers, ex-lovers, co-workers, whatever, however, any type of social connection that you may have encountered on your walk of life here. Okay. Big money was paid for you to stay quiet. Oh, baby. Yes. Big money was paid towards you to stay quiet. However that resonates. They paid people to come towards you, to do things towards you, to stop you from speaking out. This is where the court cases come in. This is where the judicial system come in. This is where police officers come in here. Stop talking. You talk too much. Nobody told you to say this. Da da da. Ya ya ya. They want you to stop talking, but for them, when they had the money, they utilize it in that way to suppress your truth. That's what they did. They wanted to suppress you by any means necessary. They didn't care how long it took or take for them to suppress you. They just knew that was the job, or so they thought. They thought that was the purpose in their life, was to suppress you. Sorry, y'all. What my shirt say, it say, if you find me offensive, then I suggest you quit finding me. And how fitting for this read today. Hey, Stamps. Hey, Charlotte's World. Hey, y'all. Where's my manners? Hello, everybody. How you doing? I see you guys saying hi. Hey, everybody. I can't get to every one of you guys, but mwah. Hey, y'all. So, we have community. And the only way that at that time, part in time, for them to be very successful is if they had the backings of other people to suppress who you truthfully are, which is the truth. You walk in truth, you're going to say what you need to say. But yet again, when you speak the truth, people who have unhealed traumas are going to feel that you are trying to come up against them. You're not. You're specifically and just merely speaking truth. But yet again, if that person has been living in la la land, illusions and lies, they're going to take that as you trying to size them up. For speaking truth, you coming around me and I'm speaking truth. And you're seeing something within this person. You're like, hey, you know, maybe you should try it this way. You don't have bad intentions, but this is not how they perceive you. They perceive your truth as having bad intentions. And then they try to inflict and project the guilt and the shame onto you. Well, you shouldn't say that. And who told you to say that? And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. It's because they cannot handle the bandwidth of the truth that you speak. That is what it is. That is the truth. Change, and they are afraid of the change that your truth brings because they don't know what to expect after the truth has been spoken. Oh my God, well, oh wow, now they see me. Oh wow, well, what are they going to do to me? Or what are other people going to do to me? Oh, I don't know. Should I stay quiet? Now they're trying to retreat, but they're trying to blame you for why you spoke the truth to them because they're doing so much foolishness towards you. And you had no choice but to speak the truth. Now you the bad guy. Now you the villain. Come on, the day making sense. So because they can't define you, because if you speak the truth, there's nothing hidden with the truth. So they can't define you. They're trying to look up things about you. And yeah, remember when you did it? That was the past. That's when you weren't aware of your truth. And that's okay, right? They were not aware of the truth of who you were, or maybe you weren't aware as to who you were. But when you finally gain that power back, that momentum of you being the truth, speaking the truth here, they can't define you. When you speak the truth as to who you are, there's no hidden layers. There's nothing. That's what it is. That's the bare, raw, authentic truth that can't be hidden. They need the lies to hide the truth. Truth don't need to hide lies. It breaks through it. It plows through it. It destroys it. Does that make sense? So because they can't define you, there's no other explanation as to who you are, if that makes sense. Well, I just know I can find something. I know I can find dirt about them. And they always revert back to the older parts of who you were. But you've been very truthful about the olden parts or the older parts or the past parts about you. So yet again, you see where I'm going with this? The more that you do your shadow work and you're very comfortable and you're truthful in regards to what transpired or what went through here, it's not going to affect you. This is why, again, they can't define you. This is why narcissistic individuals cannot and will ever feel superior over you. You, if anything, you make them feel inferior because yet again, they cannot define you. Define basically is a definition. They're trying to find something that categorizes you into something. Again, you can't categorize the truth into something. Again, that's what it is. Is that the truth? Yeah, that's the truth. You can't categorize truth. You can categorize lies. And the moment that these individuals continuously try to categorize lies, it just keeps piling up and up and up and up and up to the point where you have all these different types of point of views surrounding lies. You don't know what's true, if that makes sense. You don't know what's true. Now you have to kind of like dig through and scope through and do all different types of things here just to get to the truth. Remember, the truth is at the bottom when it comes to a narcissistic individual. You are the truth, and they're going to bury you as much as they can. Here's their lies. Here's your truth. And they're going to keep burying you and burying you and burying you and burying you until they feel like you're completely stuck, where they feel comfortable with their lies. But the moment that they weren't anticipating for you to plow through the shift or the change here, remember, you're at the bottom. Here are you. You're the truth. Here's the lies. And you're able to plow through. It literally explodes to the point where now the truth is now on top. And what they gonna do? Does that make sense? So house is in reverse. Have you guys heard of the song called "A House Is Not a Home" by Luther Vandross? The house of you is the truth of you, however that resonates for you, because everybody's truth is going to be slightly different. So you're going to have to take that how that resonates. But the moment that you allow the home of you, you don't want to be, you're not a house, you're a home. And you have to make sure the foundation of your home or self is the absolute truth, depending on how you perceive that with self. Okay? So you're dealing with narcissistic individuals here that are creating homes, are creating houses, but not homes. So these houses here is like, okay, I'm going to stay here for a little bit. All right, it's time to go. All right, let me go to a different place. And they just keep hopping and jumping and skipping all over until they can find a place that feel like home. Again, that's an external thing. They're trying to externally validate that the things that they're doing is going to continuously allow them to keep creating these broken houses. Not even a broken home, a broken house. For me, this is my own personal perspective here that I'm getting ready to say. This is me. I don't think a home can be broken. This is just me, okay? Again, for my extensive research and doing, just diving deeper into things lately, I have heard the saying that a home is broken, and I don't feel that way anymore. And the reason being is because When you make that place an actual home, you're going to really truly ensure that it feels like home. So there will be nothing inside of that home that you made home to be broken. I'll use you as an example. You are the home of self, right? There are people that have houses of self. Big difference here. That makes sense. And if you're consistently creating and recreating and, healing and do whatever it is that you need to do when it comes to the home of self, it won't be broken. But individuals here who do have houses here and they're trying to manipulate or trying to pass it off as if it is a home, you can see the big difference. So again, that's from my own personal perspective, okay? We can agree to disagree, and I'm okay with that. But that's just how I feel about that part. Yeah, thoughts. So now they're in their thought here. And they're trying to figure out, how are you able to surpass them? With truth. For truth. With truth. Well, what do you mean? The same truth that they tried to block from you is the same truth that sets you free. It's the same truth that allow you to be in a freeing space of self, if that makes sense. So the more truthful that you are to self, the more people will not be able to trigger you. That's where the $1 million, whatever, however you want to call it, that's where all of the wealth sits in. The truth of you. That's where all your wealth sits in. And this is how this is how you'll be able to manifest from the truth of you. If that makes sense? Could be a main male here. However it resonates. A father figure, a brother figure, an uncle, a cousin, a grandfather, ex-spouse, ex-lover, however it resonates, okay? However it resonates. Or you could be this man going through this. Again, however it resonates, okay? But there's a man in their thoughts here because they could not subdue you. So if you are a man dealing with another man, let's say you had like a best friend or a brother here, this man that you may have held in high honor here may not like the fact that you are speaking the truth in this manner here. But again, if you are the truth within self, if you keep diving within self, they can't take that away from you. They can never ever take the truth away from you. So this is why in their head, they're building condos. You got condos in their head. You got multi-million-dollar homes in their head. Not even homes, houses. Because every time they think something of you is always negative. It's nothing positive because yet again, they have unhealed trauma that makes them sit in their negativity, if that makes sense. So in their head, they're building all these different types of houses and condos and things of that nature, and they just can't get you off of their mind here again because they cannot define you. When you hold boundaries or express independence, independence is the truth of you. You acknowledge it for what it is. Okay, you know what? Yep, all right, that makes sense. Nope, that don't make sense. You know what I mean? You honor your truth as to what it is. It confuses them because again, they thought you were a lie. They perceived you as a lie, which is why they use heavy manipulation in order for it to instill into your life as that lie. And again, if you are the truth, you will never be a lie. You'll never be a lie. Right. This is why the pathway is open. Hey, 2Cash. This is why the pathway is open here. Does that make sense though? Please let me know if it makes sense. If not, I will break it down, okay? Let me know. And don't be afraid to ask questions surrounding what I'm stating here, okay? I love a good banter. We can talk. Let me know. Because you could be just as insightful as I am. I'm like, you know what? I never think of it that way. I never saw it that way. You know, I welcome conversation. Don't be afraid to speak up. Speak up, boo. Okay. So we have Tower Moment here. Tower Moment is here. So your pathway is open, theirs are not. Because again, they're using all these sticks and stones. We'll call them imaginary sticks and stones. And they're projecting it onto you and you're bypassing. They're like, whoa, wait, but I just said, and I just thought, and I this, and I that towards the collective, and they're bypassing it. It was an illusion, boo. It was an illusion. So if it's really not there as they expect for it to be, it's like, oh, okay. It's like a dream that you just wake up from. Oh, wow, really? So all of their lies or their illusion falls back into their reality, falls back into their lap, falls back into their house, falls back into their yard. Now they're trying to figure out how you cross them. How dare you cross me? You cross them with truth and they have lies. Come on, make this make sense. Okay, I'll spin it that way. Here's your truth. Here's their lies. Yeah. Yeah, they try to cross you with their lies, and you came back with that sword. They had the sword of lies, and you had the sword of truth. Okay, and now you in this dual fight here. You're the truth, they're the lie here, and you guys get shing, shing, shing. You keep going like this over and over and over to the point where you broke down their lies. I can't believe the collective, and stay away from the collective, and the collective is this, and the collective is that. Yet again, it's because their manipulation doesn't work. How in the world can someone that has been consistently speaking lies for however long they've been speaking lies for, how in the world can they try to manipulate your truth? Think about that for a second, and vice versa. How can the truth manipulate lies? Use it as a shadow question prompt and see what pops up. And I'm going to be adding more shadow prompts in my group, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. Yeah. I keep telling you guys, I got something big coming. Yeah. And I say that very confidently. Yes. Yes. It's time to heal, boo. Yes, it is. And if you're not ready, that's okay. I ain't holding space for you. I learned that too. When you're ready, you're going to pull up and do what you need to do. The ones that are ready, they're going to dive right in and do what they need to do. The ones that don't, they need reassurance. They need someone to hold them accountable. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm being so for real. I've learned my lesson with that. Sorry. I got the tools for you, but it's up to you to do whatever it is that you need to do. And everybody not going to be ready, and that's okay. No love lost. But yeah, Wisdom Beyond Wounds, if you are ready, specifically, if you are ready, you're more than welcome to come into the group. If you're not, then just wait until you're ready. Don't take up space in a space where you're not ready to do the work, because you're just, at the end, you're just wasting your own time. I'm being so for real with you. And I don't want you to waste your time. But yeah, if you're not ready, then that's okay. But if that makes sense, you got cold-hearted here. Now they look at you as cold and uninterested. Yeah, of course you're going to be cold and uninterested. They keep hurling and throwing lies towards you. Why in the world would you be interested in lies? So of course you don't have any energy to give it. Of course you're ignoring it. Of course you broke it down. And they still trying to figure out how and also why would you do something like that towards them. They try to suppress your lie, or sorry, they try to suppress your truth with their lies. That's what they tried to do. And it failed miserably, because they're the one that's going bonkers. They're the one that's going bonkers, not you. Again, if it's not the truth, then it shouldn't trigger you. If it's not the truth of who you are, it shouldn't trigger you. If it is triggering you, that means you still have work to do. And guess what? That's okay too. That's okay too. You're just going to have to come to a point in time where you're now realizing who you truly are, the truthful parts of you. Are you lazy? No. Well, you're lazy. You're lazy. Well, why you call me lazy? If you're not lazy, then it shouldn't trigger you. That's not the truth of you. Does that make sense? It's not the truth of you. So it shouldn't trigger you or get to a point where it doesn't trigger you. Again, people manipulate others mentally, verbally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, whatever they decide to use to make you look like something that you're not. This is how the narcissistic abuse stays intact, stays in control. Are you in control of self, of the truth of self, or are you going to allow someone's lies and manipulation control you? That's a question you can ask yourself, and you can write it in your journal. Let me repeat that. Are you solely in control of the truth of you? Or are you going to allow another person who don't know anything about you, they don't know the truths as to who you are, but they're trying to erase your truth and trying to add on lies to control you as such? That's a personal question that you could ask yourself. So hidden agendas in reverse. The agenda is not hidden anymore. They can no longer lie on you, or they never could lie on you. Now, the reason why for some it was successful here is because you felt that you had to prove a point. It goes back to your childhood. You always had to prove yourself that you were speaking truth. And every time you attempt to prove yourself that you were speaking truth, you were physically accosted, spiritually accosted. You were emotionally, mentally, verbally hurt in some way, shape, or form. That's what they hiding, or maybe they thought that they could hide. Because if they were speaking truth, right, and the truth emerges, they wouldn't be going bonkers with the lies that they're trying to capitalize off as truth. You're excavating the path. You're excavating the this part here, this focal point here, and you're like, what is that? No, so that's the actual truth. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh, you're delusional. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're confused. Oh, you're not any of those things. They can manipulate lies, but they cannot manipulate truth. And if you are the truth that you are, that you claim to be, then you're going to operate in that, and it's not going to affect you. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to affect you. It's a liar. Liar. Could be a Pisces, however resonates. This could be a low vibrational Pisces. You could be a high vibrant Pisces. Someone did this to you, may have considered you to be a liar, or you're dealing with a low vibrational Pisces that you consider to be a liar. However it resonates. But they're not liking it. Oh, well, then don't lie. Don't lie to yourself. They cannot be mad at you when you want to operate in truth. That's what's in you, embedded in you, the DNA of you. You're the walking truth. That's you. And another person that's very comfortable in their lies here can't be comfortable around you when you're speaking that, the truth. It doesn't make sense. They can't get bent out of shape or try to argue with you or try to fight with you when they're the one that want to continue to stay next to you or close to you. Make it make sense. Because again, they ain't making sense at all. I'm telling you, it's pretending. So now they have to keep pretending. And pretending is a form of a lie from this aspect. Pretending can be a lie from this particular aspect here. They have to pretend that things are a certain way. That's kind of the way that's a lie. Why pretend when you can just be? Why do you have to pretend when you can just be? Oh, no, that ain't right. Oh, no, you shouldn't. Okay, why they always got something to say about what the collective should or should not do? But the moment that you push that back onto them, oh, you're rotten to the core. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're this. I mean, burnt out this year. And this is why they're being burnt out, because you're not giving it any time or day. You're not playing into the illusion. You're not playing into the false narrative. You're not playing into what they want you to see. You ain't playing into it. Oh, all right. Okay. You're not going to fight back with me? No, that's not the truth. Why are you fighting with someone that's truly and specifically and also inauthentically not the truth? Why? How does that benefit you? Arguing with someone that's not the truth of self, or maybe they are the truth of self, but it could come out, it's inauthentic. And that could be spun in many different ways. I'll be here all day. I could break this down in so many ways, explain it to you guys, but hopefully you're catching what I'm saying. They want you to see their illusion from their eyes, not yours. And even so, you wouldn't even see illusion from your eyes. You'll see the truth of things from your eyes, from your perception. You see the truth of things. You bypass the lies. That ain't the truth. Get that out my way. That's the truth. Now they're in a space where they're unable to express emotions. I wonder why. Now they want to look at you as insubordinate. Ain't that something, child? You're insubordinate. How dare you challenge me? But they've been challenging you, trying to manipulate you with lies. So what's the... My God. It's like, what? We have toxic family here, child. It started, not everybody resonate with this, of course, but for the ones that do, it started when you were young in a toxic family dynamic. Maybe you came from a family dynamic that did nothing but lie. And maybe that's how they grew up. And okay, I get that. But just because they were raised that way or they grew up that way doesn't mean you have to follow suit in regards to how they were raised or grown up here. Some of you guys that may have a child or children here, this ain't for everybody, take out resonates, a toxic mom or a toxic dad don't like the way that you parent your child here because you're seeing the lies that they set upon you or told or whatever, and you're seeing that there's truth to this here, and you don't want to raise your child or children in as such. And also, guess what? That's your right, boo. Huh? That's your right. The moment you detach or speak from awareness, isn't awareness truth? You are fully cognitive and fully aware as to what something is, as to what something's not. The awareness brings forth the truth, doesn't it? Anything to get out of the hot water that they place themselves in. They boil the hot water because here it is. Here's the cauldron. Okay, here's the cauldron here. And they just know for a fact that you're going to end up in this hot water, meaning you. Oh, the collective is going to end up in this hot water. No, we not. They keep boiling and boiling, and they make this cauldron super hot, and they expecting you to fall into their illusion here. No, you didn't create it. So why should you fall in something that you did not create? You didn't create the lies. You just saw past it. Oh, that's bubbling. That's hot. Nah, I'm not going near that. Well, you should. Here's the manipulation. Here's the manipulation. Here's the manipulation. Oh, you should. You should. Nah, that ain't hot. What you talk about? Nah, just go over there. Nah, don't worry about that. You're not seeing correctly. No, just follow my lead. Let me guide you there. Friends will carry you. Hear me and hear me well, eh? Friends will always carry you, but they will never bring you back. Let me repeat that. Friends will always carry you, but they would never bring you back. Let me break that down. A friend will he and ha with you to your demise that they created for you. They will see that you fell into their demise here. And when you asking for help, you're asking for assistance, they're nowhere to be found. Friends will carry you, but they will never bring you back. That is not a friend. That could go for friend, family, any type of social connection. That is not the type of individuals that you should surround yourself with or you should connect to, because they don't mean you any good. They have no good intentions for you. Clearly, they have no good intentions for you. And that's what you have to see. They don't have any good intentions for you. No good intentions equals deceit. In some cases, for y'all, may perceive as betrayal, however it resonates for you. But no good intentions doesn't end well. Controlling is in reverse. And they can't control you. How somebody who can't control themselves try to control you? Make it make sense. Karmic. You're dealing with a karmic, whatever, however. Like I keep saying, you're going to come to a point in time in your life where you're going to sit back and you're going to have that aha moment. You're going to be like, dang, really? And if you're able to get to a certain part in your journey here, you will actually laugh at it because it comes off as like, dang, man, I remember when such and such, I remember when I experienced this. But when you're able to see the bigger scope of things or the bigger perception of things, it becomes laughable. And yet again, this is why they don't like you as a collective laughing, because they feel like you're laughing at them. However it resonates. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't. You can't win with them. Why would you even try to win with them? Why even try to compete with them? There's no reason to compete with them because, yet again, they don't make sense. Yes, la-di-da. And then you la-di-da, you mosey on down continue down your path of life. And they can't stand your la-di-da. Y'all know what la-di-da is, right? Because I feel like I have some new family, soul family that's here. La-di-da is life. La-di-da, la-di-da. And you're just happy and you go lucky and you're blissful and you're in your truthful state. That is la-di-da. So that's why I say la-di-da. It could be a Virgo. You could be a Virgo. Or they could be. However it resonates. Okay? Oh man. Oh goodness gracious, child. Okay, it's a frenemy and shocking message. So again, however resonates. So far we only had 2 signs out, which was Virgo. It was Virgo and Pisces. Okay, so maybe you were aware, maybe you weren't, but there's a Virgo or a Pisces here, low vibrational. That is a frenemy or turned a frenemy because of the truth that you speak. Again, they feel misunderstood by you, but it's not about being truly unseen. It's about losing control of how they want to be perceived. It's a want. They want this to happen in this way. It needs to be happening in this way. They want to manipulate that want to ensure they can get what they need. Want and need works together in tandem. It do. They need to fulfill the need, or they need to fulfill the want to get what they need. Somebody could be listening to I'm hearing a lot of New York, Big Papa, Notorious B.I.G. Okay, you can listen to Lil Kim, could be from New York. We have secrets here. So this so-called friend of me who came off as if they weren't, you were able to see past their illusion. So it's no longer a secret. Not everybody gonna resonate with this. For the ones that do, for this specific part here, you didn't care. You didn't care. Why didn't you care? Because your discernment or the truth of you was blaring within yourself to where you're like, something's not right here. You didn't argue, you didn't fight, you just disconnect. Well, how dare you disconnect from me? You're supposed to talk to me. Well, what does talking get? Where does talking get? When you try to talk and speak towards them, they get so defensive, and you ain't trying to hurt their feelings. You're just trying to show them the truth. They can't handle your truth. So because they can't handle you, the truthful person, why even fight for this or any of this? Why? They want you to fight them for their lies. They want you to confirm their lies as truth. And you should not do that. That's not fair to you, is what I'm saying. It's not. It would never be fair to you. They want you to be stuck like them with the lies. No. Are you a lying person? Do you live in lies? If the answer is no, well, then you ain't going to be stuck. You can't be stuck in truth, but you can be stuck in lies. Lies stop you from moving forward. Lies stop you from seeing the actual picture as to how you truly should be seeing it. So a transition had to happen. You physically either moved away from this person, or you physically ignored this person, or you physically blocked this person. That was the truth of you. You saw the lies for what it was, and now you are fully becoming back full circle to fully and wholesomely operate in your truth. You're transitioning from lies that people have said towards you and about you here. Well, that don't resonate with me. No, that's not the truth. Well, let me go ahead. And you took that leap of faith and you transitioned fully 100% back into who you are. The truthful parts, or the truthful everything as to who you are. Not everyone is going to accept your truth as to what it is, meaning you. Some people can't stand you because of the truth that you carry, that you exude. Those are not your peoples. And guess what? That is okay. Why are you fighting someone to see your truth when they all they have are lies? Don't argue and don't fight with them. Let them be. Okay. Who cares? Well, you got to see it. No, you don't. You know what the truth is. Is it bothering you? Is it triggering you? Well, then, you know, somebody eating sunflower seeds. Somebody eating pickles, or maybe you're getting a sandwich, making a hoagie. Oh, let me rephrase that. Well, I'm from Philly, so we say hoagies. I know some other areas may say cold cuts, or deli sandwich, or heroes. Okay, so maybe you're getting a hoagie. All right. They can't be sneaky around you anymore because you see the lies for what it is. So it sends a reverberation of triggers up and down their spine. Oh, well, if you don't want the truth, stay out the way. I promise you. If a person wants to live in lies, they can live in lies. They can. But the moment that they cross your path, for whatever reason that they cross your path, or you cross their paths here, well, then they can't get upset of the truth that you speak. If you don't like the truth, stay out the truth's way. What am I missing here? What I'm missing here? Could be a Leo, however it resonates. You could be a Leo. It says friend, so strong friend energy. Okay, strong toxic family, strong toxic friend energy, however it resonates for you here. Okay, I'm hearing a very specific animal called the platypus. Very specific. Maybe you like that. I don't know. I just heard platypus. Maybe you have that tattooed on your body somewhere. Maybe that's your favorite animal. Maybe it could be your spirit animal. But I heard say platypus. So I don't know what that means. Yeah, it be coming like that sometimes. Oh, so platypus is from Australia? Okay. It could be a Gemini. You could be, or they could be. Okay, however it resonates. Yeah, this is what they fear. So you could be a Scorpio or they could be a Scorpio, however it resonates. But there's a low vibrational Scorpio, Gemini, Leo, Pisces, Virgo that is afraid because they cannot trust the process. Trust the process is in reverse and they can't trust it. Why they can't trust it? Because all they have are lies. Who's going to want to trust a lie? They don't even trust their lies, which is why they have to manipulate others to see the lies as truth. Does that make sense? They're very contradictory. How dare you? Okay. Could be a Capricorn. However it resonates. Oh, goodness gracious. Then they want to talk bad. They want to have a whole kumbaya session and everybody going around the circle. What do you don't like about the collective? Well, I don't like the fact that they speak truth. Oh, okay, me too. Yeah. Okay, well, what do you like about the collective? Well, every time I talk to them, they always got to show me myself. Like, this is the type of stuff that they be talking about behind your back, baby. Baby. Okay? And the more they talk, the more you're going to regenerate. Yes. Because truth regenerates a lot of things. It sure do. What sign is that? In Aries. Someone could be 17 years old. You may have a 17-year-old. This could have been happening since you were 17, or something happened significant in 2017. So however that resonates for you. Someone's name is Tariq or Derek. Dashae, D-A-S-H-A-E, Dashae. And I'm also hearing Walk Like a Champion. That's by Buju Banton. Maybe you were listening to him recently, or maybe you love Buju Banton. He's a reggae artist. He has some pretty good songs, conscious songs. You know, It's Not an Easy Road. That's by Buju. Walk Like a Champion. He has a lot of good songs that helps to, you know, surrounding your consciousness here. But we have energy in reverse. Could be a Virgo. Okay. So you're regenerating and they're not. You can't regenerate. We'll put it this way. You can't regenerate life of lies. That's like borrowed time when you keep using lies or operating out of lies, because you always have to keep creating something to hide that initial lie. Who has time for that? Yeah, people got time for that, but do you have time for that? 24 hours in a day, you start with one lie, and then you got to make another lie, and then when it comes time to say how you feel, they don't remember the lie that they said. Who has time for that? That's too much. Not have time for that. Too much. So I just advise, if you're going to lie or live in a lying state, which is fine, just stay away from me. That is all I care about. Stay away. That's on you. I don't hate you. I don't despise it. Just stay away. We don't connect. We don't mesh. That's fine. Go live your lying life while I live my truthful life. What's the issue? And when I say I, collectively, generally speaking, for the ones that resonate, okay? You notice that the truthful people are peaceful, right? You notice that, right? When somebody's walking in their truth and they're operating in their truth, you don't realize that they're the ones, meaning you guys are the peaceful ones, or for the ones that are walking in their truth or operating your truth, you're the peaceful one, because you're worried about healing yourself and getting yourself to a dynamic or space where you can feel comfortable to thrive, not survive. You thrive in truth. They survive in lies. Hey, Kay. Hey, boo. So if you're feeling any type of guilt or shame surround the truth that you speak, okay, that's shadow work that needs to be done. And that's okay. Do what you need to do to ensure that you don't feel guilty or shame for speaking truth. However that resonates for you. And I'm more so speaking about the truth of self is what I'm speaking about or speaking towards. Because yet again, everybody's truth is going to be different. So you're going to have to take that how that resonates. Abundance is in reverse. Memory is upright. Well, if all you had in your memories was nothing but lies, you can't thrive in lies. You cannot. Maybe temporarily, but permanently, you cannot. You can't. They want to keep you in a state where you only remember lies, so you cannot be abundant. See, longevity is in reverse. Could be a Scorpio, low vibrational Scorpio, Sagittarius, Leo. Where am I at time-wise? Okay. I gotta leave it a little bit. Time to leap. Leap into your truth. Sit down with self. Leap into who you are truthfully. Sit with self. If you have moments where you cry, okay. Yep, do what you gotta do. In a controlled setting, behind closed doors. Do what you need to do, but make sure you're leaping into the truth as to who you are. To hell with what people think of you. How they gonna tell you to be something and they can't even be who they're trying to be? They gotta manipulate you to get you to see them in the way that they truly want to be, which is an actual lie. It's a lie. And that's why it's being revealed. Come on now. With Moon, either a Cancer side or a mother figure here. Elixir. They got to concoct up things and create things and draw things just to make it taste good or look good. No. The shadows of their lives are always going to is always going to haunt them, or always going to be connected to them. Always. Once you connect from the lies of your past, this spirit or this ghost won't follow you because it won't affect you. Cancer. You could be, they could be. Gemini. Capricorn. Aquarius. Libra. Pisces. And all the other signs I called before. Okay? So if that resonates with you guys, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab a copy of this book here. It's called Wisdom Beyond Wounds. It is readily available for purchase on Amazon.com. I have created this book for myself and also the collective here that is ready to heal from the narcissistic abuse or traumas that you may have endured or experienced. Okay, this is an international seller. Yes, I've claimed it, absolutely. And it's going to shift a lot of people's point of view or mindset when it comes to it in a very healthy, positive way. I'm all for positivity for sure. Yeah. So each one teach one. All right. So don't forget to grab your copy, send me an email, a picture of you holding the book, And yeah, enjoy, go through the book, make sure you go through it, sit down and write down all the things, the prompts, go through the prompts and go through the work, do the work. And the more that you dive deeper, the more you're gonna be like, oh wow, dang, really? Yeah. Because narcissism comes in many, many forms and aspects that I really don't think a lot of people are aware of. So I'm bringing that to the attention towards the collective here. Okay, so you are so appreciated, collective. Yes, you are. Do not forget that. And if at any point in time you feel that you don't feel appreciated, go look in the mirror and tell yourself that you are. You are truly appreciated. You are outstanding. You're a great person. You're here to be super successful, whatever it is that you're wanting to do here. Go out there and be freaking great that you know that you can be. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one and I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Thank you. See you later. Uh-oh. Bye, YouTube. Mwah.